in partnership with them. Okay, in partnership with American universities. Sant'Anna Institutes try to provide undergraduate students with the best international experience because students get to live in a foreign country while improving their both linguistic and cross-cultural communication skills, providing a perspective that encouraging creating opportunities in the work community and enhancing the students' outlook in multiple ways. Because the school is located in Sorrento, I have already invited Matt to come here. We are 22. I can invite all of you. Fortunately, we are not all the 200 participants. We can invite you here just to see our reality. That's one of the most harmonious cities in southern Italy, and our students are truly able to gain a global awareness and also to appreciate diversity while studying abroad. Our goal is to help guide participating students into becoming responsible and open-minded members of the society, because we aim that all the students can appreciate the Italian culture as well as the knowledge acquired through their academic courses. Of course, and this is what we are talking about today, students have the opportunity to gain work experience while spending their time studying here. Now I present you briefly our foundations. So we can talk about a theoretical underpinning of our approach that can be summarized in this figure. We drew from Narayan and colleagues of 2010 and from Gia and Duyan of 2019. And so we have a model that can be summarized into three phases. The first one is about the antecedents of the internship context. So talking about the employing firm, we argue that the primary relationship issue is how prepared it is for the internship. So we surmise that preparedness can be captured by a lot of factors such as awareness of university's interest, internal organizational context, the formality of structure for internship. Turning to the students, research and knowledge transfer recognize individuals' preparedness, that the individual that must be able to interpret and make sense out of knowledge in order to transfer it to others and also to institutionalize the knowledge at the organizational level. So we focus on a student's ability to transfer and apply this knowledge to the internship as determined by two components that are the general academic preparedness and specific internship readiness. The second stage in our model consists of the process of the project. So for the employing firm, the process focuses on the relationship with the university, so of the employing firm and the Sant'Anna Institute in this case, because between the company and the university, the process centers on communication and a continuous commitment to build a relationship. For the university, besides its commitment and the communication with the company, this is about mentoring and providing feedback to a student during the internship. Finally, for the student, the critical process is commitment to the internship, because this commitment is the identification, we can call it an identification with and a willingness to exert a considerable effort in the internship role. Finally, the third part is about the outcomes. So these are of three types. They include organizational benefits for the completion of the internship process, enhanced capability of the company and university and also at the student level, and finally, a skill development and a career enhancement. So for the firm, there are a lot of benefits, such as, for example, project completion, efficiency, an inflow of new ideas. For the university, completion of the project will likely result in student satisfaction, and so in a possibly student placement. Finally, for the students, the outcomes will be about, for sure, the skill development and also their career opportunities in their life. All these studies being put into practice with reference to the multiculturalism, and that's probably our key in the process of the internship. at Sant'Anna Institute, because in the academic field, as well as the business, you know, in the job market, intercultural competence has become a core, a key qualification to strive for. These are presented as a multidimensional construct based on affective, cognitive, and behavioral categories. And that's our idea of multicultural and intercultural enhancement, as you can see in the slide: cultural sensitivity, openness, contamination, awareness, and adaptability, adapted from Mennecke of 2021. And finally, talking about foundation, in addition, we are particularly keen on this, and we make sure that these internship experiences are consistent with the day goals. So about diversity, equity, and inclusion, that they matter because they help build a fair society that allows all people to get equal opportunities. So the moral case for day is that everyone has something, as a value, and everyone can contribute to their society. So for example, for a moral standpoint, because the mission of no-profit organization is to improve society, they should be diverse, inclusive, and equitable. So they is the idea that companies that seek out diverse candidates or that engage, for example, in diversity training, are stronger and operate more efficiently, because without diversity, organizations will likely new perspectives will be not competitive as other companies that do embrace diversity. So without a culture of equity and inclusion, employees who feel underrepresented are likely to quit. So you know about how many problems we are leaving for the new generations that want to live in a work context that is diverse, that is equal, and that include all the people. And so taking their talents with them and going away. Caroline.
Thank you, Davide. That was really interesting. Now, after he's spoken about the theories, I'm going to backtrack a second to what Matt said initially and say, he said, look at the photo of Sorrento in front of you. Well, yes, we think that an internship in Sorrento is the experience of a lifetime. So I'm actually going to talk to you regarding our internship programs. I'm going to start from why study abroad. Davide, you can change the page of the PowerPoint, please. Okay, so obviously what we aim at is to provide our students with an experience here in Italy, totally immersed in our southern Italian culture. And obviously through this experience, they'll be able to put to use the skills that they have learned academically, and so enriching the work placement and also themselves through this experience in obviously an international context. Now, we have a wide range of internship programs. These actually go through from various semesters, the spring and the fall semesters actually last 15 weeks, 16 with a spring break or a winter break in between. And then we have also summer semesters that are actually divided into two parts of 5 weeks, which we categorize as summer 1 and summer 2. But one can also choose to do summer 3, which is actually the two put together for 2 weeks. Now, these internships are for 3 or 6 credits. Our 3 credit internships equals 135 working hours, and the 6 credit internship, 270 working hours. Now, obviously, these hours include all that takes part also here on site, excluding other courses that the student may choose to follow, like on-site projects and other programs that we put into place, like our lead programs, which I will talk to you about in a few minutes. So we have periodical meetings with the students, like what we call check-ins, the supervisor on site, to make sure that the internship is going the way we had planned. And also we have the forms of evaluation, midterm and final evaluation, and obviously an e-portfolio, which they start on the first meeting with us, and we require them to start an e-portfolio, and which they will then present at the end of the internship. This is also useful for them for their future careers. Davide, you can actually go on to the next page, please. Now, the part of our program is the LEAD part, which is LEAD stands for Leadership, Engagement and Professional Development. Now, these are actually sessions where not actual classes, they should be seen as the opportunity of personal growth. So the topics, obviously, the first session will be e-portfolio, and then SMART goals, self-awareness, communication styles, project management, teamwork, skills with the STAR method. So all these various things where the student can, in one session, be provided the information, and on the second session, can discuss it with me or the actual expert on site, and at that point also discuss it with other students there at that time and exchange their experiences. This is all to help them develop through this experience and have the best experience and growth through their internship. Hey, David, next page, please. Another program which has been introduced is the International Mentoring Program. Now, obviously, an internship with us is to help them in future careers and to find the ideal job after they graduate. And obviously, we provide a list of international experts they can be put in contact with, who can help them approach their future careers and discuss any questions they may have. Okay, so we have the tutoring, coaching, and also the mentoring. We also have an on-site psychologist now available for any necessities a student have, but they have actually a fixed meeting, a 1 monthly meeting with the psychologist, who obviously helps in work environments. As we all know, internships are very unique. The student, when they arrive for an internship, are usually very excited about it. But halfway through, some of them may experience a low moment, feeling homesick or finding it very difficult to be immersed in a culture that is different to their own. So even though we do the LEAD sessions to help them be aware of the difference in culture and not finding it as daunting, they may need a little help, and this person is here available on site for all their questions and anything else. And another thing we have introduced is a simulation program, business game. Now, it is not part of the evaluation of the program, but it is there if anybody wants to take part and have some on-site experience of what of running a business would be like. Okay, Davide, I shall pass. I'll talk about our placements. Go ahead, thank you. We have various areas of placements, some more sought after than others, but briefly, we have placements in art, in biology, in communication, in hospitality, also in medicine, in social work, and gender studies, as Davide was talking about earlier. Day is very important for us, and we also have an internship with DROP, which is a local association, which is regarding rights for all kinds of works of life. And marine science is also a very important placement here. It's in the marine protected area, where students can also have the opportunity to save turtles or analyze quality of water or beach cleanups. Also, we have various placements with art galleries. Students can learn of the art world, and also most of our placements are in communication, where students can also choose to enhance their marketing skills, and through media, through TikTok, Facebook, etc., updating these sites for the employer. Same for marketing and management. There's various. Davide, can you move on to the new ones, please? Thank you. So as we say, we have archaeological as a non-profit organisation. We've got architecture. We've also got some in real estate. We've got some in museums for art. Also handmade jewellery, which is also very popular here locally with kamais. I don't know how to say that in English, actually. I'm sorry. Next one. Thank you. Okay, management, I was saying earlier, there's emergency management at the Volcano Observatory. We've also got a new placement for luxury management and marketing for cruise ships, actually local to the area. We've got some in fashion merchandise, hospitality, obviously Sorrento being a tourist destination is one of our fortes. And we have placements here at Sant'Anna Institute itself. Okay, Davide, you can go on, thank you. And marketing, as I was saying, charter boat company, the one I said earlier, Airbnb, even event plannings, actually, through the various hotels and event sites. Events can also be organised for the art galleries, so there is a vast, actually, amount of internships students can choose from. Thank you, Davide. Please continue. Okay, there's again new available positions, sustainability and social activism. Again, I was saying NGOs, we have various NGOs. I was talking about DROP earlier for diversity and equality. There's also Less Onless, which deal with also refugees in refugee camps. We've got various places like that. A new one is also ALMA, which is actually a social services, health help, home help for people with disabilities or children with disabilities. And then obviously again, gender studies, as I was saying, DROP is one of our main ones. Thank you, Davide. And these are some examples of some internships that took place this spring semester just passed.
Hi, my name's Carly Owens. I'm with Sant'Anna Institute, and I'm interning with the Marine Protected Bay of Uranto. My roles here are creating a social media platform and honestly just learning from the Marine Protected area.
Along with the team I'm working with, I clean and protect the marine protected area of Punta Campanella from illegal fishing and boat anchoring. I then help to translate and educate visitors about the importance of the environment that they are protecting. It has been a humbling experience to work for the Earth. Very quickly I realized what I was working for, and that was the Earth. When I'm working there and I'm in the ocean and we're cleaning it, you can actually see the true human impact that we've caused on such a beautiful environment. We are a part of nature, not above nature, and finding more ways to get aligned with that mindset, reverse the damage that we've done to the environment, is definitely something I want to dedicate my life works towards.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Sullivan. I'm a junior at Elon University, and here at Sant'Anna, I'm doing an internship at Antico Palazzo Scala My main tasks here at Antico Palazzo Scala are to post on the social medias, so I frequently post on Instagram, Facebook, and I've also made a TikTok account for the hotel. So I would say the biggest challenge of an internship here is time management. This internship is very flexible, which is good in jobs, but sometimes if you like structure, it's a little challenging to, think of your own projects and keep up with them. But it's only pushed me to, think out of the box and be a little bit more creative. I think an international internship is very important for your resume because it really makes you stand out to future employers. It shows that you are adaptable, and it shows that you like to put yourself out of your comfort zone, because not only are you studying abroad, but you're also taking the next step to actually put yourself in a work environment. The best thing about my internship is that I get to showcase Sorrento in a sense, so I am walking around and taking pictures and videos and pictures of the hotel, and it just makes me feel like I'm giving back in a sense because I get to appreciate the beauty of Sorrento.
My name is Paige Sitton, and I am double majoring in psychology and communications at The Ohio State University. Mainly over promoting the gallery through social media or creating newsletters, or I recently did a catalog to promote the artists that are also displayed here as well. The main objective is just to grow in experience and skills. It's a lot of content creation, a lot of promotion, as I said, and that's a new field for me. This is my favorite piece in the gallery right now. It's created by Marjane Fahimi, and it's called Blue Rose. I think having an international internship experience on my resume just shows that I'm a little bit more well-rounded compared to other candidates for potential jobs that I might be applying for. Just being surrounded by contemporary art is something totally new, and it's really interesting to grow in that knowledge and learn more about what contemporary art is for today.
Hi guys, my name is Paige Swartz, and I'm a senior at Susquehanna University. I'm an international business major, and I'm currently interning at the Quanto Basta Cooking School here in Sorrento. In the past month, I've been creating digital content for the Quanto Basta Instagram page, and I'm currently designing a customer review campaign. Throughout my college career, I have taken many academic courses that have taught me the necessary skills needed to be a social media marketing intern. I am confident in my abilities to communicate effectively and promote brand awareness over digital platforms. Having an international internship is a phenomenal opportunity. Interning in a foreign workplace will not only enhance my communication and problem-solving skills, but it will also provide me with a network of connections overseas. My favorite things about my internship have been capturing memorable moments of all the customers who come and definitely getting to try the authentic Italian recipes.
I'm Sarah, and I'm a student at Florida Gulf Coast University. I study forensic studies and criminal justice there. Here at Archeo Club, I'm studying 2,000-plus-year-old artifacts, looking for fingerprints. On these fingerprints, we're looking to find out more about the people who created this pottery. I think my studies at home will benefit from this experience. Here I'm studying fingerprint impressions to learn more about who they belong to, which is very similar to what Latin print examiners do each day. The most interesting thing about this internship is the opportunity to interact with ancient artifacts and study them up close. Many people will see these artifacts in museums, but they will not get to physically interact with them as I'm doing here each day.
So working with the international students brings a lot to the Archaeology Club. With Sarah in particular, we are able to profit from the training that she had in the US and learn from the techniques that she practiced there, and it really brings a lot of innovation for us.
Hi, my name is Sarah Hyde. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I study at Elon University. I'm majoring in strategic communications, and my internship here in Sorrento is at JK Studio with Julia Cron.
So for me, having Sarah here has been very interesting. It's, for me, quite relaxing to work with somebody who has a different culture than the Italian that I live with every day.
The most interesting part of the internship is being able to work one-on-one with Julia and really get an in-depth look on what she's doing and what projects she's working on and what events she's going to, and getting to see exactly what she does to start a creative process. The internship will benefit my future because for me, real life experiences are very, very important. And being able to work hands-on with Julia and work in the studio while I'm in Sorrento has been very beneficial for me, and it's going to be helpful for me getting jobs in the future, and it's definitely helping me figure out what career path I want to take.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I study at the University of Ottawa from Canada, and currently I'm doing a study abroad internship at Vida del Genestica, where I work with diverse able children and adults and technologies, and I'm doing research studies as well in this regard.
I believe that my studies have greatly contributed to my work regarding the research aspect of my internship, as I've been able to access and recognize reliable sources for my own research, as well as having the knowledge on how to correctly perform and write a research study. Although I do believe that the experience will be the ultimate factor of learning in this case, honestly. The most interesting thing about my experience, other than the fantastic people I work with, is being able to experience and better research on how augmented psychology can be used as a treatment for diverse-abled people. This internship will greatly benefit my future, as my career goal is to perform psychological research in Italian on children. So being able to be part of a research and gain this experience will greatly aid me in my employment as well as my future studies.
Okay, so these were a lot of different experiences we wanted to provide you just to make you see from their voices the experience we try to provide students here at Sant'Anna Institute. And in conclusion, we will try to design, so based on these theoretical and also practical premises of what we do at Sant'Anna Institute, a toolkit for an ex-ante, in itinere and ex post design and measurement of effective internships. And as I anticipated, this toolkit is not yet ready, but the Emerald Publishing Company believed in us and trusted us with the writing of a book, which will be published the next year in the summer of 2023. So I also want to open and close a parenthesis by telling you that those of you who would like to participate in this process, in this publishing project, are welcome. And we thank you for your attention, and we are here for sure for all the questions you would like to ask us.
Fantastic. Thank you, David and Caroline. I really want to get on a plane and go there after seeing all that. And I was thinking about sort of the architectural internships, and I was just looking at a map of Sorrento, and it's so close to Pompeii, and I'm sure there's many different Roman era architectural wonders that these students can partake in. We have 3 questions so far. So folks, if you want to ask a question, please use the Q&A function. And I also have some other questions just in case we have a little bit more time. So Marissa Miller asks, I missed the context. Are these students who were already studying abroad and include an internship in their experience? Or are they going abroad strictly for these internships, and are they paid experiences? So I'll throw that either to Caroline or to David.
Yes, okay. No, they're not here already. Well, they could be, but it would be a bit more difficult to organise if they're already here, unless they were actually, for example, doing summer 1 and then decide for summer 2 to do an internship. It could be put in place, but it's actually students that choose to come here to do an internship. No, our internships are not paid. They are, as I say, an internship for a work experience. In their field of studies, it has to be in line with what they are majoring in.
Okay.
I think I did.
I think so. Actually, I'll just back up a little bit. Are the majority, or if not all, the internships in the Italian language? And what sort of, if they are, what proficiency do the students need to be at?
Okay, it's not compulsory for somebody to actually speak Italian. Keep in mind, Sorrento is a tourist-based town, and 70% of people speak basic English, if not higher level English, because they're so in contact with tourists anyway all the time. So no, not all placements actually require the Italian language, especially if you're in a hotel context or tourism context. It's actually required the English language rather than the Italian language. But it is a bonus if you do speak Italian for some internships, like in the health environments or social work environments, it is definitely easier to be able to speak Italian language, and most of our issues do arise because of the barrier. Students have to be able to improvise, like there's Google Translate and things like that. You know, it's overcome, but you have to be able to improvise to be able to find a different form of communication. Now, our lead sessions are also for that reason in place, to see where they're encountering difficulties and obviously to tell them how they can overcome them.
I just want to add just one sentence to what Caroline has already perfectly told. It's the fact that during summer here, Sorrento is not anymore Italy, but it's like the United States. So probably you will find your neighbors, your friends, your relatives, because it's about 1,000 tourists come here in those periods. So especially during summer, but not just during summer, because from the last 10 years, probably there is also a Christmas tourist, so also during other months. So that's why there are a lot of people, the majority of people here speaking in English and without problems. So nobody has to know Italian. So it's just about the culture. So they have able to improve their cross-cultural communication skills. You know that we talk also with the hands, we talk also with other parts of the body and not just with the language. So that's why it's not important to speak in Italian, but it's important to understand another culture. That's probably the most difficult thing in coming here.
Fantastic. David, I'd asked David actually to turn off his camera because we were having some connectivity issues, but maybe David, you could try to turn it on and see if we can see your beautiful face
thank you for the beautiful face.
So you're coming through loud and clear. So let's try that for a little bit. Okay, so the next question is from Alessa from FIE. And she says, it is interesting to see the wide range of internship areas you are offering. I'm wondering how many students you have per term and how many companies you're working with. And then another question is, do your students do an internship only or have a combined program where they're doing an internship and study at the same time?
Right, I will answer that question as well. Right. Obviously, during COVID, numbers went down, but obviously this week we have seen a rise in those numbers again. During the spring term, we were shy of 20 interns. Obviously, those are not study abroad students. Numbers are much higher for study abroad students. And for the summer terms, upcoming terms, for summer one, we're looking at 24 students. And for summer two, we're looking at shy of 40 students. And so throughout the whole summer three in total will be obviously around 70 students, 8 of which will be doing the summer three, which means the whole session through. Now for the question regarding study plus internship, yes, that is allowed. We do prefer it to happen during the spring or the fall semesters because there's more time. Obviously, spring and fall semesters are 15 weeks for 135 working hours, so it works out roughly 10 working hours per week, whilst during the summer, again, it's still 135 working hours, but only for 5 weeks. That means the student would be working 30 hours weeks, and it would be difficult to actually fit in also time to follow courses here at the Sant'Anna Institute. There was also another question. The placements. Right, placements are tailor-made for the student and for the employer. Now we have a branch of contacts, obviously, that I reach out to and inquire whether for that semester they would be happy to take on an intern if they need an intern for that time. And obviously the packet, the project that they will be working on is tailor-made for the employer's requirements and the student's skills. So as much as we have many sample projects on our site that students can look through, they do vary sometimes according to these aspects.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So the next question is it was submitted anonymously. And they ask, have you experienced many student withdrawals from your program as of late? And how do you manage student declines or overcome withdrawals proactively? So I'm assuming this probably has to do with COVID measures and whether, there's any number of reasons why a student might withdraw from the program. So I'll send that over to you for your question, for your answer.
A low percentage does happen. It's just normal in the process for various reasons, and they're very easy to handle, no problem at all. It depends at which stage they actually are withdrawing.
Okay, great.
But we have also to say that from the time when we decided also to include the aspect of the psychologist, we had a lot fewer problems. So we improved the experience of the students. So thanks to the psychologist, so thanks to the fact that one can also talk with someone, can also express some concerns, some problems of any kind, we are also able to prevent them and to make it possible to solve them and to generate a better experience also for students. So from the time we decided to make use of the psychologist for our aims, we improved the experiences of students, and so they also been able to complete without so many problems their path.
Right. Well, actually, and that brings up a great point. And I was going to ask about the psychologist program. I think that's a great thing that you offer. And I guess one question that I would have is, how has the uptake been? So how many of the students are taking advantage of that opportunity? And the second is, how do you provide that opportunity to the students without crossing the line into the students' sort of privacy issues? I'm guessing that you can't mandate that somebody see a psychologist, but perhaps you can offer it. So I'll just kind of throw that out to both of you.
No, you can't mandate. Obviously, students have weekly check-ins with a supervisor on site, which they report their hour logs, they report what they've been up to, so we can keep track of that they're working on their projects, they're updating their e-portfolio and so on. And many times that occasion becomes a moment in which the student also opens up and starts talking about things. Now, obviously, from a humane point of view, you listen, but if you realise that it's something that goes out of your area of responsibilities and capabilities, you pass it on to obviously who is an expert in the area, but again, it can only be, as you say, a suggestion.
Great. Okay, I have another question that was submitted anonymously. So it's a three-parter. I'll just read all three out, and maybe you can tackle them either together or separately. The first is it common for students to later be employed by the host company? The second question is, how do you vet host companies to participate in your program? Are they trained on diversity, equity, and inclusion related topics? And then the third part of that question is, can you speak to the general feedback you receive from host companies? So I know that's a lot to tackle, but Caroline, would you like to start us?
I can do number one and number three. I'll leave number two. Happy day.
Perfect.
Okay, number one, if students are employed by host companies, not to my knowledge. I must admit, I am new here at Sant'Anna. I don't know whether in past years that has happened, but as far as I've been here, no, I haven't seen anything like that. But it could be a possibility, as when a student comes here, they are assigned a social security number and nothing says that they couldn't have that possibility if they wanted to. Feedback from host companies, yes, we have evaluation forms. So not only do our faculty evaluate the students evaluate the actual internship, also the companies at midterm and final, the end of the internship, they give us feedback in the form of a questionnaire. And I must admit, they are always very positive.
Okay, about the second question, I can intervene because, yeah, we talk a lot with the companies because they must be prepared to get people involved in a new job, because they have to know the different culture of the Americans compared to Italians. So we are quite strange about this. And so we organize before the internship programs a lot of weekly training session to the management that we can call, I don't know if we can call them management anytime, because many times they are also very small enterprises, very small businesses, and also family businesses. But we organize, we set a weekly training session just to give them our expectations about the program. So we told them about our expectation. We try to give them some, I don't know, some premises for make the experience of the trainees good. And so then after students start their experience, we meet them once a month. We meet management once a month of all the companies involved, and we try to understand the progresses. We try to understand the process, if all is going good or if there are some problems. We talk about them and we try to fix these problems.
I just have a quick follow-on question. So you mentioned in your answer, David, American students. I did notice in your videos there was one Canadian, and I'm just wondering if there are other nationalities that participate in your programs.
Caroline, can you help me with all the different opportunities we have for other countries?
Yes, any university, any student, I think, can actually apply. I must admit, somebody applying from Scotland for this summer upcoming. So yes, as long as they can have the credits transferred over, it shouldn't be an issue. It's down to credits at the end. If their university recognises the credits that are provided by JU, because obviously school.
Good stuff. Okay. Alessa has a question. Given that COVID has changed the way how we work and how we interact with colleagues, students, and placements, we have adapted to a new normal. So I am wondering what the working patterns, fully on-site, mostly remote, or hybrid for your students look like this year and might look like this summer and fall.
During COVID, they were virtual. This spring semester and upcoming summer, it's full contact. In person, there isn't any virtual at the moment. But obviously, in the moment in which there would be an outbreak, yes, the option to go virtual is there.
Okay, great. And this pertains to your last answer. Monica was asking, do you issue your own credits?
We have a school of record, which is JU.
Which is what? Which one? Sorry.
JU, Jacksonville University.
Jacksonville University in Florida.
Okay, fantastic. Monica, I hope that answers your question. I wanted to ask you about the LEAD program. So you sort of bill it as personal growth. what I would say about that from my observation is that it may tackle things that we call kind of soft skills. What have you seen? Or sorry, let me back up. Why did you develop this program? Did you see that there was a need for this type of experience that would augment the students' interaction with with their employers? And how long has it been in place, and what results have you seen?
Right. Our internship programs have been in place for about 10 years now, whilst the lead session for a bit less, around about 6 to 7 years, to my knowledge. It was developed, obviously, to be able to create a tangible document of what the students have learnt and which skills they have acquired. In fact, as you're talking about soft skills, on their final e-portfolio, they are asked to present which 3 skills that they have acquired through the experience, but primarily present one of them with the STAR method. Okay, so obviously it's to show the students, to let them acknowledge what they have learned through this experience, and to be able to present this experience to future employers, because it is quite unique and it looks really good for them on a portfolio one day.
Fantastic. David, do you have anything that you would add to that in terms of the students that you see that are coming over with their kind of interaction, their soft skills? I've heard anecdotally, and I say this as a parent, I have a son who's 19, and I feel like he's missed out on some of the soft skill development over the last couple of years in high school and in first year university because of the various lockdowns and that sort of thing. And so that is a concern I have personally. And it's, but at the same time, they've become so resilient that I don't doubt that it's not something that we can overcome. But David, have you seen anything?
I just know that in Italy we have an approach that's quite ancient, because we have an educational sector that is hard skill oriented. So we have already focused just on hard skills, so on hard competencies, so knowledge, so you have to study and then you have to report them to the teacher. But we are seeing a transformation in this sense. Also in Italian medium and high school, it has been included from this year the teaching of the soft and life skills. So they decided to add also life skills, and that's why we have to focus more on this. We know that it's a topic of critical importance for us. We cannot teach them how to do something. We have to teach them how to think in a different way. So yeah, with a resilience approach, like you told, but also with empathy, with an approach oriented to problem solving, and also all the others. Soft skills you already know better than me, but these are the topics on which we have to focus. We have to.
But that said, if you allow me to have it, that said, through the soft skills acquired by spring term students that have just left, the main one that came out was communication and feeling confident in a different culture. That's the main one that actually is acquired by most students, in which they present in their final presentation of their e-portfolio with the STAR method, is communication and how to overcome the barrier that they find when they get here.
Probably another important soft skill that students earn when coming here is the time management, because of the different approach related to management and to time that we have compared to other.
We're very laid back.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I don't see any more questions from the audience. So I think I'll wrap up just a little bit early so people can get on with their days, whether it be lunch, dinner, breakfast for some of you. I know it's different time zones. But I wanted to let the audience know that I have recorded this session, although I recorded it a little bit late. So the first little bit will not be in the recording, and that will be available to everyone who'd registered for the conference. So feel free to share the recordings with any colleagues or friends that are in the field that you would like to share with. And I would like to really thank Caroline and David for your input and your presentation here today. I think it's really great to hear from a perspective from Italy, from Europe. And it's been fantastic. So thank you very much.
Everybody.
And then I just wanted to mention that we actually have another session just starting in a little over an hour, which will feature Rachel Crisso and Deborah Morrison from Virtual Internships. And it's called All Boats Rise: Who Else Can Benefit from Remote Internships? And so all of you will have a prompt to join that session as well if you have time to do so. But I'd like to thank Caroline and David again. Really great session, and I hope to see you in Sorrento one day soon, because it just
I hope so too.
I'm inspired to go there. So thank you so much.
For sure. I've just wrote the email of Caroline and of mine if you have some questions that you want to ask us, and also if you are interested in working at this project about the book we will publish with Emerald. So it's about internship and cross-cultural competencies. So Matt, this invite is for you and for all who want to take part of this project. So you can write us and we can arrange a call. We can.
Good stuff. You may regret inviting me. I may end up staying for months instead of days. So
we can't wait to meet you here, Max.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your day, everyone. And hopefully I'll see you online in just over an hour for the next session. So take care.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.